Hey lovely ass sisters, it's your girl Obaa Yaa, back with another video. Thank you for joining me again today. And if you're new here, hey girl, welcome to the family. In today's video, as you could read from the title, I'm going to be talking about why your hair is not growing. So if you want to know exactly the reasons why your natural hair is not growing, then stay tuned. So now, without any further ado, let's dive right into this video. The very first reason I'll say is it's you. You are breaking your hair off. Yes, you are breaking your hair off. You are just not gentle enough when handling your hair and you're breaking it off. The styles you install in your hair require too much manipulation. Basically, you are not gentle enough when handling your hair. That's basically it. If you're not able to retain length, that means your hair is breaking off due to something that you're doing. Some people don't even realize because they've internalized the way they handle their hair so much that it has gotten to the point where they just do things without even noticing the things that they do when doing their hair. Or for them, it has become second nature, or it has become something normal for them to do because that's just the way they've been doing their hair. So they don't even notice if they're doing something wrong. That is where the issue lies. You might not be noticing that you are rough with your hair, or you do notice but you don't care. And if you don't care, then your hair also don't care. It will not grow. Just as simple as that. Your hair will not grow. And if you're less rough with your hair will treat you right and it will grow. If you're neglecting your hair, what do you expect? Your hair will definitely not grow. Your hair will not grow if you're not giving it moisture when it needs it, if you're not giving it protein when it needs it, if you're not doing deep conditioning treatments, if you're not detangling your hair properly, if you're not doing the things that your hair needs, if you're not clarifying on a regular basis, your hair won't thrive. If your hair is healthy, your hair grows. If you are healthy, your hair grows. So if you're neglecting your hair and you're just like, whatever, I'm just gonna leave my hair like that, I'm not gonna pay attention to it, I'm not gonna do anything to it, and it's drying off and then it's breaking off, then yeah, you're not gonna see any length. You will not be able to retain the length. I've also done this in the past. You get to a point where you're so comfortable with your hair that you don't really want to do too much to your hair, okay? There is a difference in protective styling and neglecting your hair. Some people like to easily drift into neglecting their hair when they are protective styling, especially when you're wearing wigs or when you're wearing braids, when you're wearing styles that you can't really access your hair easily. So you tend to just forget about your hair. You have the mindset of, oh, my hair is protected, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. But that is not the case if you're neglecting your hair and you're not still giving it moisture. Even though our hair is in protective styles, you still need to cater to it. You still need to tend and give it the moisture that it needs and everything. You still have to make sure your scalp is clean. If you're not doing all these things, your hair will not grow. If your scalp is not clean, your hair won't grow because that is where it starts from the scalp. And that's just it. So in order to see the length that you desire, stop neglecting your hair. Just pay more attention to your hair and give it what it needs, and it will thank you by growing for you. Yes. What do I mean? I mean that sometimes you don't see your hair as something precious, or you just think that, oh, it's just hair. I have a video and you can check it and have a watch if you're interested, when I talk about it's not just hair, the phrase it's just hair, and in my opinion it's not just hair. I believe that if we have that mindset that it's just hair, I can do whatever to it, then you don't have that sense of value towards your hair. You will not treat your hair right. You will not feel like you need to baby your hair. You will not feel like you need to pamper your hair. You wouldn't feel like you need to be gentle with your hair if you don't value your hair. If you value something and if something is precious to you, you will be more gentle when handling it. You'll be more cautious when handling it. You will think twice before doing something to your hair because you want to make sure that the thing you're about to do won't be harmful to your hair. And that is if you value your hair, if you cherish your hair, if you appreciate your hair, and if you love your hair, you will make sure that the things that you are doing to your hair won't be damaging to your hair. But if you don't care about your hair, if it's just like whatever, it's just hair, I can bleach it 3 times in a week, from purple to pink to blonde to whatever. or I can just throw heat on it every day and all that. I can just comb it anyhow. Your hair won't thrive, it won't grow, you won't be able to retain any length if you're just treating it anyhow. I do believe that our hair is our crown, and if you value your crown, you will treat it right. If you nurture it, you will see the results of it. If you are an impatient person, you will not be able to grow your hair long, because handling natural hair requires patience. Because sometimes, some days you might find it easy to detangle your hair, and there are other days where, for whatever reason, your hair is not cooperating. Then it might take you longer to detangle your hair, and that is where the majority of breakage happens, in my opinion. Okay, you might be of a different opinion, but in my opinion, I feel like when people detangle their hair breaks the most. Sometimes we are in a rush, we just want to get through the process of detangling, because to some it's tedious. To me, it's tedious as well, but in my mind, I still give myself enough time to detangle my hair. Because of that, I've been able to retain my hair, and I've been able to grow my hair to tailbone length. I mean, I was able to grow my hair to waist length in 6 years, and then I was able to retain that length, and I was able to get to tailbone length, and I've been natural now for almost 11 years now. It's been almost 11 years. I've cut my hair several times now, but I've still been able to retain my hair at the length that I currently am, which is about hip length, and that is due to me being patient with my hair. And that is something that I needed to learn from the onset, because just ripping through my hair, especially with my fine strands, I can't just go through it just like that. I just had to learn that for my kind of hair, I need to be patient, and I have seen the result of me being patient with my hair. As women, I know that we like to change our style, change your style, be like that. For those of you who know, you know. Anyway, so we like to change our hair, we like to change our style, we like to do this and that. But when it comes to retaining length, the less you do, the more you see. The less you do to your hair, the more you see. If you leave your hair alone, your hair will grow, because you're not manipulating it. You're not doing anything that will cause it to break off. But if you're changing your hair, if you're changing your hairstyle every week, you have to have a different hairstyle. Every time you're doing your hair, you are causing too much breakage. So it's very important that you give your hair a break from time to time, and you try not to put your hands in your hair all the time. Let your hair be. Maybe some people change their hair every day because they wear a different kind of wig every other day. And with the leave out and all this and heat and all that, that is too much an excessive manipulation, and that can lead to breakage. And with that breakage, you are not able to retain length, because every time you break your hair off, you are moving a step away from the length that you desire. Okay? So try to limit the amount of manipulation that you do to your hair, and you'll be able to retain length. This should be actually number one. This is the first point I should have actually made, but yeah, anyways. If you don't know your hair, how can you get the right product for your hair? If you don't know the kind of strands you have, whether you have thick, fine, or medium strands of hair, how would you know? If you don't know whether you are high, low, or medium porosity, how would you know which product work? If you don't know whether you have dense hair or not, how would you know which products will work for your hair? These things are important to know before you go to purchase a product, or before you start using or doing anything. You need to know the kind of hair you have on your head. Because just say you don't know your hair, and eventually after watching this video, now you are convinced that you should actually take the time to know your hair, and then you check your products, and then you eventually realize that those products that you had were not meant for your hair. Then you understand why it's not been working. Then you understand why your hair still feels dry, still breaks off, and you're not able to retain the length, because you were using the wrong product, because those products were not meant for your hair. So that is the reason why it is important to know your hair. If you know your hair, you would save yourself a lot of heartache and you will save yourself a lot of money, because you will not be buying products that are not catered towards your hair type. Therefore, you'll be able to moisturize your hair properly, deep condition your hair properly, and your hair will thrive, because you're giving your hair what it needs and not what it didn't ask for. You might find it difficult to come up with your own regimen. This is why you need to know your hair. But sometimes some people just follow YouTubers such as myself, and then just copy their regimen and apply it to their own hair without knowing their hair. And if you are just copying and pasting without really evaluating if these things actually do work with your hair, then you might be inhibiting your growth, because those things that someone might be putting in their hair might not be working with your hair, or it might not be suitable for your kind of hair. So if you are just doing something blindly without checking if it is actually something your hair likes, or without observing the way your hair reacts, and you're just following it blindly, then you might set yourself up for a loss. You might realize that you're shedding more, or you might realize that your hair is breaking excessively because that regimen is not catered for you, and you're just doing it because you saw someone do it. Just because you saw me do it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. That is why I always emphasize the importance of knowing your hair, and also doing your research and making sure that you read the ingredients on your product so that you know whether it's right for your hair or not. So don't just copy and paste, or don't just follow someone's regimen blindly. Make sure that you get ideas, but then evaluate and make sure that you pick and choose what works for you. And then when you come up with your own, then you're certain that it would work for your type of hair. And lastly, I know I do say that I'm a lazy natural, but someone in the comment section actually said I shouldn't say that I'm a lazy natural, but I'm efficient. I think efficient. I should say I'm an efficient natural, okay? What is that? What is that? What is an efficient natural or lazy natural? Someone, or I would say that I'm someone who just does the bare minimum. I don't do more than my hair needs. Our hair doesn't need too much. If you give your hair exactly what it needs, it should be fine. But basically, all I'm trying to say is that even though I say I'm a lazy natural, I still put in the work. I've put in the work from the beginning, from day one up until now. And that is something some people are not ready to do. And if you're not ready to put in the work, you will not yield any results. I know natural hair, some people say natural hair is tough, it's difficult, it's all this, it takes work, it takes blah, blah, blah. Yes, it does, but it's also something beautiful. We have to steer away from thinking that our hair is this massive giant, something that we have to conquer. No, our hair is not something tedious, it's not something difficult, it's not something that we have to fight against, okay? We don't have to fight against our hair to achieve the things that we need. Our hair is beautiful and we can work with it, but it depends on us to put in the work to understanding our hair, to know our hair, and to dedicate a time to learn our hair. That is why it is important that if you want to see results, take your time, give yourself the time, and put in the work. Don't expect products to grow your hair. That is something also that I've always heard, that what products do you use, what products do you use, and what do you do, yada yada yada. That is not what grows hair. It is the things that you do, or the lack thereof, that is what will help your hair to grow or not, if you're not doing the right things. So in summary, what I'm gonna say is that make sure that you give yourself the time to learn your hair, especially if you've just started the journey. Give yourself time and learn your hair. There is no rush. There is no rush in it, but just be willing to give yourself the time, be willing and be dedicated, be focused, and be ready to put in the work to grow your hair. Because everything that is good doesn't come easy, okay? Everything in life, good things in life don't come easy. Everything in life you need to put in the work. If you want to earn more money, you need to work more, you need to work harder, you need to do more things, you need to sacrifice in certain areas in order to achieve certain things. So that is the same thing with your hair. If you want to see results, maybe you need to cut off the amount of times you change your styles, or the amount of heat you use, or you have to cut in some places in order to benefit in other places with regards to your hair. So if you want to see more length, then you have to reduce certain things, and that is where you have to dedicate and put in the work. So guys, I thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it, and I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, don't forget to give it a like, to subscribe, and also to turn on the notification bell so that you are notified when I upload my new video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, so very much. You can't even imagine how much. See you again in my next video. Stay blessed, stay healthy, and stay safe. It is your girl, Obaa Yaa. Obaa Yaa. Bye.